Hello, everybody. We are here. First of all, apparently in New Jersey, Raw went long. I don't know. It ended right at 8 o'clock here on the West Coast.
Yeah, the broadcast didn't start till 8:05 because there was a show that ran late on the USA Network for some reason. I guess maybe East Coast. That when I was sitting there, it was like 8:03, and that's when the pre-broadcast, whatever it's called, the intro started to play. So I was a little confused.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're here. We're 20 minutes late, but we're here. New Jersey, man.
Everything goes wrong over here.
Everything goes wrong in New Jersey. Okay, I'm here with LJ Ruiz. Welcome to What's Up Wrestling, our 30th episode of this show. We have lots to talk about in pretty rapid fashion, but I would say obviously the big story is Ricochet. And I have to say, I was watching how this was going to develop on this long-ass 3-hour show that was really bad. I mean, the writing was bad. Yeah. I'll just say that. So 3 hours, and you see Ricochet come in, and I'm like, and all I could think about was, if he's not involved in a match, then he's going to get taken out. And it happened exactly like I thought. I am so upset that they had to do this fake injury.
Yeah.
To write him off onto the sunset in an ambulance. This reminds me of my soap operas, right? Like they'll do something just like this. Like, he got in a car accident. We're shipping him off to the to the facility.
Yeah.
And then you never see him again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand Braun Breaker's issue. That's a whole other problem. But I think he's gone. I think this is it. I think this is definitely the bye.
I think we previously talked about it. Same thing with Seth and Becky, that we were like, there's no way they would leave because at the end of the day, like, you'd want to be with your wife and stuff like that. And I think we mentioned it about Ricochet a few episodes ago. And, I was like, there's no way he's leaving. But I don't know. Like, it sucks, especially with somebody that I got to interview during my interviews. It was, it's kind of weird. It's like the first person that's like not going to be there anymore. But I kind of understand it. Like, I just think like we've talked about previously, like, the roster is very stacked, and he's a really good a great wrestler, and he doesn't really get much time to do anything other than like put on a really good match, and then that's it. And then like they don't really have him in a storyline. I don't even know the last time he's fought on a PLE, so it seems like he's going to test his waters elsewhere.
AEW.
He's gonna go there and do the same thing he's doing now.
Same thing, correct.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole secondary problem. I will get to again. But that's where he will go. And if it was structured properly, he's a great talent that would work with AEW because of the high flying, because of the wrestling, because of all that. But he will end up just falling into an abyss, probably. But it's very sad. He's one of the greatest wrestlers I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we've seen guys go there that are really good, like a few of the guys from WWE, and they've gone there and I'm sure he's gonna go there and get a big push in the beginning. He's going to win like the TNT title, and then they'll forget about him and they won't have him on TV. But it just sucks because I feel like he could have done way more in WWE. I mean, they could have used him in a different light and not just like the guy that you put on when you want a good 20-minute match with some flips. Like, he could have been a lot more than that. So it sucks, but it's, I guess he's betting on himself.
Didn't he have the greatest moment with Logan Paul?
Yeah. See, like, that's the thing, is they had him in some of these big, big time matches that you thought he never would have had, but I guess he wants to see what he's doing.
I don't remember. I guess I in recent memory, I mean, I literally watched for the last 2 weeks, Ricochet, everything was Ricochet. I mean, the way they're acting is like the biggest guy left the show. If they cared so much about him, why didn't you do something to keep him? This is what made me upset.
Yeah.
Because everybody was making such a big deal about it. But nothing changed over at WWE.
And I did see that they offered him a contract, but I don't think it was anything he really wanted. And I think it's one of those where it's not really the money; it's more of just him having nothing else to do there, in his eyes. That he just didn't think he was going to get pushed at all. I don't even know if it's guaranteed that he goes to AEW. I mean, we've seen some guys do TNA and
Japan,
all these.
Japan.
Hopefully, I guess the feeling is that he feels like if he doesn't go to AEW, then that means he made enough money in WWE and feels like he can do stuff because no other company is offering as much money as AEW is going to offer him. So if he turns down AEW, that means he made enough money in his contract with WWE and feels like he can do more free stuff instead of sticking to the AEW schedule. So I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know if he's going to have the release clause where he can't wrestle for a certain amount of days. So I guess we'll see when he pops up somewhere.
And then what we couldn't figure out is what about Samantha? Obviously, Samantha's going to keep her job.
Yeah, and they're not going to get rid of her for a while. I mean,
they like her; she's really good, and
you could say she's more popular than Ricochet,
right? And I'm assuming maybe he'll hang out with Becky, and then Becky. We haven't talked since Becky left. And then Becky just sitting there in the ring and leaving was kind of weird. I thought really quickly on Becky that, she had no story either.
No.
She had no story.
But I feel like with Becky, they have a stronger feeling she's going to probably come back. And I don't see her. I can bet money she doesn't leave. It just wouldn't make any sense. And, with Seth just re-signing for 4 years, I mean, we've seen that it doesn't matter, but it definitely plays a part, especially with a kid. It just wouldn't make much sense. Do
you think Ricochet might they take him off for like 6 months and he comes back a villain?
I think it seems like it's based off what I've read and all these reports backstage. It doesn't mean everything's true, but based off the big reports that I'm seeing, it seems that he's gone and he's long gone from the company already, and he's already informed them. So he kind of gave them a heads up.
Right, I heard he gave a couple weeks notice or something, and then it finally got, or then he finally got.
Yeah.
So you don't really. I mean, I don't know. I'm really sad about it. I thought that ending was terrible, and I don't understand the character of Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't mind the writing off of him. Like it does well by him instead of just having him leave and no one says anything. It makes sense.
Well, no, they needed a way, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. He's been around for years. Like it's nice to do by him, but to have Braun Breaker do it when there's literally no. It's the same exact thing as, to me personally, it brings me back to we still don't know why Brock Lesnar beat up Cody Rhodes to this day. We still don't know. We're still wondering why. That's literally what it feels like. We're never gonna get an answer for it.
I have no clue about any of it, and it reminds me of, a Bill Goldberg gone haywire. Like Spear, and it's Bill Goldberg, and spearing everybody, just demolishing everybody. I don't understand the problem, and I'm confused. Wasn't there a moment when, before Braun Breaker came over from NXT, wasn't he was a heel? Then wasn't he a good guy?
Yeah, like he wasn't as a heel. Yeah. He wasn't as much of a heel that he is now. Like he was more of a guy that's gonna do more stuff, but then now he's just becoming the same guy he used to be.
Technically, on that note, Ilya is a superior wrestler to Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
So to have a job for him and lose.
Yeah.
Also, I was like, well, I guess that says that the big guy wins, and you're now pushing this really great wrestler.
Yeah.
I do think you can see the pattern. If you're a really great wrestler, I don't know if you get the shot as long as you're still.
Yeah, it seems like it's going kind of backwards, where like the days where you couldn't get the big title unless you were a muscular guy, that was most likely on steroids. I'm not saying all of them are, but a guy like Ricochet, I would have loved to see him with something more than the U.S. title or the IC title, but it just seemed like he was never going to get that push. So that's kind of where we're at now. But I also with what they're doing over there on the other side, I don't really see him doing much there either. So, I mean, I hope he does, but I guess we'll see.
Well, the problem on the other side is there's so many people there, too.
Yeah.
And they don't even use them.
And guys that are, honestly, on their way back to WWE.
Yeah, so in terms of tonight's show, the only funny thing was the Liv Morgan straddle bit, because it's so perfectly placed, and it harkens back to old WWE. This is what it all reminds me of, the times when they did stuff like this. I remember a lot of this, male, female thing, and that's what it reminded me of. And, I think the funniest thing is Dom. He's the funniest one, because he's playing like, I don't know anything. I don't know. And he's totally like into her, supposedly. What do you think of the story at this point?
I hate it. Because one, I always have a problem with your
You
champion.
love Morgan.
I always have a problem with your champion doing storylines that are like corny and dumb, like funny ones. Like it makes the championship look really not needed. Like she's not even feuding with anyone right now. When you think about it, she's feuding with Rhea, I guess, because she's not there. But she was your champion, and that's what you have her doing. It kind of diminishes the title a little bit and her title reign, because her title reign is going to be a bunch of no defenses and flirting with Dominik Mysterio. I think it's kind of stupid, but I'm not really that interested in it. I think personally, going not just talking about everything else, but like I think Raw in general has been a blunder for the past month. I think it's been boring and not entertaining.
I cannot believe what I was watching. I could not believe this R-Truth Miz thing that went on for segments. I don't care about the Sami Zayn Otis thing. Like nothing's happening.
Yeah, nothing's really clicking right now.
Yeah, and it seems like I watched tonight and I felt there was absolutely all the big stars are gone.
Well, yeah, I was literally just gonna mention, like, a show like today, you really miss Rhea, you miss Seth. Cody's only on SmackDown, which hurts Raw.
Where's Punk? Where is Punk?
You miss Punk. Like it seems a little dry right now. Like the guys that you thought could carry it can't carry it.
No, and I'm really thinking that when I watch Damian, who I love, face off with Drew, he's not that great.
No.
On the mic. Like he's not that great on the mic. So there's not that big build-up feeling to this match at Clash at the Castle, which Drew's gonna win. Unless Punk comes out and screws him up.
Yeah, I definitely think we're getting Punk something at SummerSlam. So I wonder what it's going to be. I wonder if they go with it this Saturday. I definitely don't know what they're going to do if that does happen, because we have the whole Gunther situation with him winning King of the Ring and he gets a title shot no matter what. So that's why it's like I think Drew's going to win, but I also think we're getting Drew Punk at SummerSlam. So we can't get that if Drew wins. So I don't know where we're at with that, with Punk and his health.
Gunther gets the title shot, and he would go against one of the
against Drew. So if Drew wins, we're not getting Drew Punk, which I think I'm pretty sure we're getting at SummerSlam. So that's the only thing about Drew winning. That's the only thing I'll say about that.
Okay. The other thing is this Cody AJ Styles feud. I don't care about that much either.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're having an I Quit match at Clash at the Castle.
I'm interested in that because of the match itself, but the feud itself hasn't been that great. It's also I know it's like the same thing we complained about with Roman, but like if you go into these matches, like Cody's not losing, so it's like it's we're just like delaying until we get to Roman's return and all that stuff, because I think we're gonna go back to that. So we're just kind of waiting.
But I feel like we're just waiting, and they're completely stalled. And when Roman comes back, I don't know. They're all rooting for Roman. The audience wants Roman.
Yeah,
yeah. They're right. Yeah. They want Roman. So I'm trying to figure out how is that going to work. Is he going to be the good guy?
I definitely think. I mean, the only thing I'll say about SmackDown is that I think they're the only thing that's saving all of them right now. I mean, is the Bloodline story. It's still really good. I like everything they're doing with it. I've seen rumors that they're bringing another one.
Another one's coming. Yeah,
Tonga Loa's brother is gonna make his return debut.
Tonga Louie number 2E.
Yeah, so I definitely am interested to see where they go with that. I don't know. I was talking about it today with my friends. Like, it just feels like WWE was so hot. Like we were talking about, it was so hot from when The Rock returned to WrestleMania, and then like I knew that once that was over, it was gonna feel weird for the next few months, and that's exactly what it is. I think eventually when we get to SummerSlam time, we're going to get some big marquee matches. I think Seth's going to come back. I think we're going to get Punk and maybe Roman. All of them will come back for the big pay-per-view. But right now, it just feels a little weak. It feels like not interesting.
Wait, not a little weak. It is weak.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I had a dream, And in my dream, it's flipped. Roman comes back babyface and Seth comes back heel.
I would definitely be interested in that. I think
the only way, the real feud that would work is Cody Seth for the title. Seth is bad because Cody cost him everything because he helped Cody. That all makes sense.
Roman, because I don't think Seth didn't get drafted, right? Or he did. I don't think he did.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
And then Roman has a whole problem with the bloodline, right? Because those guys, I think he has no idea what they're doing. I think he doesn't know what Solo did. I think he's going to walk back in and be like, oh my God, you've destroyed this.
That's why his return is so important, because I don't know when he returns, what he's going to do exactly. Is he going to be a full surprise? Is he going to come back and act like he's the head of the bloodline again? I mean, I hope not, because then it would just feel like they're just doing it all over again. I think it would be great if he came back and, was a full babyface. Just like
I would make full babyface on his own.
Yeah. Him and Jay.
I don't know what to do with what?
Him and Jay.
And Jay would be great. And isn't Jimmy coming back?
Yeah, so I think they're waiting for Roman to come back. Then Jimmy's gonna come back. But just think about all the guys that you don't have on the roster right now that are hurt.
I don't have Punk. I don't have Seth. I don't have Roman. I don't have Jimmy.
Yeah, Becky.
Well,
Rhea. All these people. Asuka's hurt.
Asuka's showing her injury. I saw that. She's all messed up. Yeah,
I'm not going back on the other feuds going on right now. The Bailey stuff with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, I'm not interested in. I don't really understand why Kevin Owens is still feuding with the Bloodline. It's been like 4 years and he's still fighting the Bloodline. It's just weird. Now he's tagging with the Street Profits.
And what's Logan Paul? Is Logan Paul not wrestling a Clash at the Champs?
No.
Castle? No.
They're setting up him and LA Knight for SummerSlam.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have Money in the Bank and then SummerSlam.
Yeah, Clash, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the last King and Queen of the Ring, I thought it was great. Premium live event. I thought it was amazing. I gave it an A, right? We talked. I don't know. This on paper doesn't look that great, but maybe I'll be wrong and it'll be amazing.
Yeah, it just seems like one of those that we're gonna have to get fooled by. The feud, the storylines up until the pay-per-view haven't been that great, but maybe the in-ring work and the European crowd once again will, kind of.
And Drew, and they'll be behind Drew.
Yeah, and behind Piper is also for
Niven.
Yeah,
is she gonna? Not going to give her the title.
Oh no, Bailey, she's getting it because
she lives there. She's from there.
Yeah, that's what they like to do.
Right.
But as of right now, it's Damian Priest and Drew, which I'm sure will be a good match, but we don't really know.
I love Damian in the ring. I feel like it sucks that this is going to be the end of his reign, but I do think he's going to lose.
But yeah, I mean, Damian Priest and Drew. Bailey and Piper, Sammy and Chad Gable, Cody and AJ, and Bianca and Jade against Alba Fire and Dawn versus.
Well, Baszler. I was thinking that. So I think this Bianca Jade thing is going to blow up, and I'm
soon though. This soon.
At least if not now, it will at SummerSlam.
Because I would like to see Bailey. I mean, I would like to see if they're going to do it. It would be cool to get Bianca Jade at SummerSlam. You also could have Jade win Money in the Bank if you really want to.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
I don't even know. As of right now, with the way their storylines are working, I have no idea who's going to win either Money in the Bank. None. I don't know who they're going to.
I have nothing in my head where before I knew, coming out of Backlash, it would be Damian.
Yeah, we had the show right after.
I don't know what. Yeah.
And we said let's give it to Damian or let's give it to LA Knight. And those were the last two that were in the ring. This year, I really don't know. I truly don't know. You can always give it to Punk, but he doesn't need it.
Was Punk on NXT?
Yeah, he talked
to the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is he coaching or just had nothing to do, or what?
No, he's just there. Like I think he was just backstage, and they told him to walk in on the post conference that she was doing. He didn't really do anything else. But it's like weird when you have your Punk show up there, but then not on Raw. So it's kind of stupid.
Yeah, I really do think I don't know this 3 hours. If they're not going to do major stories in 3 hours, it's a long time. When you're doing a soap opera, we're watching 39 minutes of airtime, and the rest are commercials.
Yeah, and
they're filling 3 hours, and how much is the commercials, and nothing's happening.
And it really does feel like they're like crawling until the Netflix deal. That's really what it feels like. Because like, once they go to Netflix, I think they're gonna start doing a lot of more important stuff and better stuff, and have more wrestlers that are big time around more. So it just feels like right now they're just waiting to get to that point. Like I don't know what they're doing with Raw. It's 3 hours. It feels like 6 hours. The second hour is always so long.
I could have gone and driven my car, gone and shopping, and come back, and I would have not have missed of anything.
Like a day like today, a show like today was a show that you didn't have to watch, and you could have just read about it, and you didn't miss anything.
Right, which means this isn't the go home show; it's SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown's the last show technically.
SmackDown's a better show than Raw right now.
Yeah, very. And I used to say the opposite when Punk was around a lot, and Seth and The Rock and Cody were on Raw, and it was like, I didn't feel that way, but right now SmackDown is the better show, and it's easier to watch. It just doesn't feel like 4 hours long.
Did you watch the return of MJF?
Yeah, I did.
And did you watch the following week when he came into? Okay, what do you think of that? And the stupid thing that bugs me is you're bringing him back to do a match with Ruiz. Like that's the feud. This is the thing I don't understand in the booking, LJ. You bring him back, and you don't want to give him. Okay, I get not giving him like Swerve right away, but Ruiz, like I don't get it.
I thought the return was very well done.
I did too.
But I don't know. I just like it didn't hit the way I thought it was gonna hit. I don't know. I thought it was gonna hit way different. It sucks that it got like fully leaked to everybody before it happened. I kind of knew it was gonna happen once I read on Twitter or X, and yeah, I think it's like I agree with you. It doesn't have to be the full main event that he's getting right away, but it also doesn't have to be this. You know what I mean? There's a middle ground that you could have found here.
I'm like, what? I mean, and now you've got Will Ospreay, who's the best wrestler in the world, going up against Swerve, which is amazing at Forbidden Door. So they're already doing that match. So I was thinking are they going to give it to Will then? And that's it?
I would like to see Will win. I don't think it makes sense.
I don't
think it makes sense for Will to lose clean. So if he does lose, I think there has to be some interference.
Right.
But
and then
I don't see him losing clean if he loses.
Right. And then are you following the whole Orange Cassidy thing? I can't follow who's against him and who isn't. It looks like everyone's against him now, including Statlander, who is his best friend in real life. And are they all against him? And is there?
It feels like that's what the storyline they're going with is like everyone.
Right. Yeah. But see, does it feel to you like it's everything in the kitchen sink? They throw at everything and see what sticks. But then even if it sticks, they don't follow through.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem. That's the thing. That's the problem I have with that. I just think with MJF returning, it would have felt like all right.
Can you come up a little? It's hard to hear you.
I just think with MJF returning, I thought it would feel like, all right, we got this big star back. We're gonna go back to having these crazy pay-per-views and all this stuff. And I don't know, like he's been back for a little bit now. Like he came back and had the show after they ate the Dynamite, and it just doesn't. To me personally, I thought they would have had a better feud waiting for him. And same thing. And then for Cassidy, I just thought the with the storyline they're going with, it doesn't really feel that important. The only thing I really enjoy right now, I'll be honest, is Christian Cage. I think everything he's doing is really good. But other than that, I don't know. I had a problem with since we didn't get to really talk about it, I had a problem with Edge. Adam Copeland. I don't really know what he was thinking with that.
I have a massive problem with that. Like,
Yeah.
50 years old, dude, you're getting on a fucking thing, you crash down, and then what's really strange to me, and I think this is along the lines of the mindset of an athlete in wrestling. When you watched his video explaining it, it's like, oh, no big deal. I've just busted my leg into 5 pieces, but I'll be back. I mean, I think there's and I've been around all the guys too. When I worked in the WWE, like there is an attitude of like, yeah, all right, well, it's just an injury. I'll be,
we'll be back. Yeah, that's it.
And maybe that's true, but I don't think it's that easy at 50. Let me tell you, because I'm years old, and every injury I have to my body gets harder to rehab from,
especially
right?
your legs. Like that's like unique. Like that's like one of the hardest things to recover.
But what I want to ask you is, if you were calling the shots at AEW and you were in the gorilla position, or you knew the booking of that match and you knew that move was going to happen and you were in charge, wouldn't you have stepped in and said, we're not doing that move? Like,
but it just seems like that's why, or would you not? The guys that go to AEW because it seems like they're allowed to call their own shots there. So that's literally what they've talked about. That he's been very vocal about how he said that there were some things he wasn't able to do in WWE because they didn't let him do it. But in AEW, he's allowed to do it, so that's why he left. So that's kind of, what it feels like. You don't have a choice. That's what they're going to do. If they want to do it, that's up to them. The only one that had a problem with it was Punk, who got in that fight. So like that was that. Once he was gone, it doesn't seem like no one really else steps up and says anything.
Well, and then everybody tonight was mentioning how Ricochet went through the car windshield, right, the front of the car, and the glass broke, and they're like, "Is Punk's not there?" or something about Punk not being there to stop it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting. The other thing I wanted to ask you is, do you have any info of everything you follow? What's the deal with Ricky Starks? Is he just not on anything? He's not. I thought he was coming to WWE.
His contract, I don't think, is up until the end of the summer. I think it's August that his contract is actually up. There's a lot of rumors that WWE is interested. I mean, I could see him in WWE. It fits perfectly with him. So maybe the AEW is just going to go with nothing until then, and then just going to release him.
He's not even on.
No. So
they must be. Is he? Maybe they're just waiting out his contract, or?
And it's the same thing. It's his contract also ends the same time Aleister Black's contract ends. So Malachi Black. So we'll see what happens there. I think he's more 100% than Starks is to leave.
You think Malachi Black will leave?
Yeah, especially after his loss. I just think the loss is stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
But he never had a successful run over at WWE, did he really?
I mean, he never got a chance to because that's before Triple H was in charge. I know that Triple H was
bored.
Yeah, so he's been very vocal about that. That was actually the guy that they ended up saying that was who they called, like, and tampered with the contracts because they tried to call him and say, how much time do you have left? So that was him. And Cole.
Speaking of Adam Cole, and where's Britt Baker?
Last time we said we're going to make a compilation.
We are going to make a compilation of this. But
where's Britt Baker?
Where's Britt Baker? She's still not there.
She's the devil. You forgot? She's the devil.
Well, I said she's the devil. That was completely wrong. And Adam Cole's just too injured to do anything? Or
yeah, he's still rehabbing.
I think Adam Cole probably should not be allowed to wrestle again because of his brain injury. And I don't know what happened to her. She had
I'm surprised she's not back yet. I've heard she's cleared, so I don't know what's going on there.
It's really bizarre. I just think coming off of WrestleMania, wrestling was just flying high. It was like steamrolling. And you had everything going for it. And you are now a few months after, and I feel like all of it's just been like that.
Yeah, like I said, I think I'm hopeful at least that we're going to get a good run once SummerSlam season's around, because that's like one of their biggest ones. They call it their second biggest show of the year, so I'm hoping they go all out for that. but right now it's just not that. There's not much going on that is interesting. You got some stuff going on with the TNA and NXT stuff, but people don't really care about that.
Did you watch yet the WCW, the killing of the WCW?
Yeah, so I saw episode 1.
I saw one.
I didn't see 2. I didn't see 2 yet.
And I'm really confused. So here's my question: the footage of Eric Bischoff and a lot of that stuff looks like it was from another. Wasn't there another documentary? Like I feel like I've seen this interview before.
Yeah, I know that they do use videos from other documentaries sometimes with especially Vice. Like that's what they like to do.
It's really funny. So years ago when I worked for E Entertainment, I was a young producer there, and they had like a library where you had all the footage. So you make your show, like a profile of LJ Ruiz, and you're taking clips.
Yeah.
We would literally repurpose the same shit in 5 different shows with different titles, but it literally was the same footage, recut.
To make it look a little different.
Oh, right, like small. So that's what I'm looking at. And then The Rock being in it, because he produced it. That just seems odd to me a little bit. Like, why are you in this? What is he like?
What is his significance? Yeah.
What is the significance of you in this?
Who's the final boss?
I know it's the final boss, but is this their product to show? What are they trying to illustrate? Like that they're better? I don't know what.
I don't know.
The only great thing about it was that Sting was originally approached to be the heel of the NWO.
Yeah, which I thought was cool. I knew that because they've said it 1,000 times.
Right. And then Hulk Hogan, which we knew, he had final say in the story. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And they didn't know whether he was going to do this, that, or the other. But you weren't, so it doesn't really matter.
No, that's the funny thing is that everything I've watched with that is older. It's all stuff from like documentaries and old videos and stuff. I didn't get to see it when it actually happened. So when I see videos of like documentaries like we just watched, all it's doing is like I just feel like everybody was talking crap about it. So some people that like WCW, it seems like what are you talking about? Everyone hates it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to see from an outside perspective that never got to experience it, like how cool it really was.
So like you're taking from it that it's terrible.
That's all I've heard is people talk crap about WCW and how it was terrible and they overpaid everybody and everyone was
WCW.
Yeah, WCW, that everyone, ran the show and Bischoff had no control. That's literally all I've heard my whole life. Is anything about the WCW is negative. But I'm sure some people enjoyed it and liked it and thought the product was at least good for the time that it was. I mean, it beat WWE for how long?
It was amazing. Like I said, it's too bad that the way this is being, it's kind of like how they messed it up. They did mess it up. But there was a run there that was beating WWE. It was really great. I don't know. All right. Well, so I guess bye-bye Ricochet.
I guess we have
bye-bye Becky Lynch.
Until she comes back.
Becky?
Yeah, she'll come back soon, I think.
And where could he, so you think Ricochet will just wrestle on the independents? Unless he has enough money, he doesn't need to.
I definitely think he's going to wrestle. I mean, that's probably why he's leaving. I don't know if he's going to just go straight to the AEW just because I think even he knows that, right? Think about right now, the storylines they have. Where do you throw him in there? Nowhere. He'll just get thrown into some tag team and wrestle on a tag team.
I don't know. I just feel with Tony Khan and Will Ospreay and Will saying all that, I bet Tony said, here's $10 million. Come here.
Yeah, and like you said, Ospreay's been very, very vocal about him not being used well enough. So, yeah, I mean, he'll probably go there. He'll put on some great matches. I mean, don't get me wrong; it'll be amazing.
And you'll still not watch him because it's AEW.
I mean, once Jeff Hardy officially leaves, I'm full.
Is he still there?
They said his contract's up in a few weeks, so
And where's he gonna go? Nowhere.
Back home. He's coming home.
That's a sad ending too.
What a waste.
Time. Oh, DL Hudson. Hi, watching from Australia. Michael, you cover everything I love, soaps and wrestling. Yes, I do. People are shocked.
Some people don't know that.
I'm trying to get the word out, DL. Help me. This is LJ. DL is with us. And yes, I've been, I've had a career in wrestling that people don't even realize. I did work for the WWE for a time, and I used to actually be a journalist and write stuff on pro wrestling as well before becoming a writer over there. So, and then this wrestling's been so great in the last year and a half, 2 years, that it kind of rejiggered my interest in it. And then I met LJ, and then and then we started going to cities around the country and breaking our noses. I did.
We got to see Royal Rumble.
I don't know. Where did you like better, Philadelphia or Tampa?
I really enjoyed the Tampa trip. I thought Tampa was fun. WrestleMania was just hectic. It's just so hectic. But the city of Tampa was nice.
Was it? I don't remember much of it. Did we?
It was okay. Yeah, we did the interviews. We did the podcast in the hotel after. I mean, you didn't see much of the ring because you were on the floor, but.
And I'm short. I couldn't see anything. That was the word. I couldn't see.
And they were telling you to get out of the aisle.
Out of the aisle, yeah. That's so interesting. So you're going for, just to wrap up, we're going to come back after Clash at the Castle, which is Saturday. So I assume we'll be back. I don't know. When are we coming back?
We could do. I mean, I think Clash of the. I can check first. I think Clash of the Castle was early, so I want to see what time it is on your end. I know you're.
So it's hard to hear you. I think you've got a little static going on.
You hear me now?
Yes, but there's a little bit.
Oh, I said I know that there's a.
Isn't it 10 a.m. again or something early?
Yeah, I'm checking right now because I know that you're a little earlier than me. Because LA. Yeah, so it's 12 p.m. Eastern, so it would be 9 a.m. for you. So I would like to do one right after if that's possible for you.
9 a.m.
That's when it starts. The show for you, though. For you, yeah, 12 Eastern.
Is that the pre-show though, or the real show?
The start. That's the real show.
Okay, so we'll come on at some point after.
Yeah, because since it's early, I think that'd be good. And get a show right after, so we can talk about.
I'll talk about it. How hopefully it'll be much better than we're thinking.
How CM Punk came in and costed him.
Got to come in and screw it up.
I hope so, at least.
I hope so. That would be they got to get him back in there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I like your shirt. It looks good.
All right, I had to throw it on.
I like it. It's better than
perfect.
Does it?
Yeah.
I was looking for a John Cena thing that wasn't because you love John, and I wanted something that wasn't so in your face.
Yeah. No, look, I like it. It's calm.
And I like it because it has just that, right? It doesn't say the name all over the place, right?
No, it's literally just this. It's cool.
Right. Which is why I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Right. Is it and it zips up, or you throw it over?
So like a quarter zip, like from here.
A quarter zip, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I think that was the graduation birthday.
Yeah. It was all around the same.
I mean, everything was happening at the same time.
Yeah, everything was. It was so hectic. But
now you had what was on your Instagram? Was that a college party or a birthday party?
So that was my graduation party with my family. Like all my mom's side, my dad's side, they all came. My friends.
Right, the friends were there. That's what I was confused about.
Yeah. Like my friends came from home, but my mom, it was my whole family was there for graduation.
And then who's the little itty bitty cute little girl that was in your arms?
That's my little sister. That's Havana. She's 2 years old. Yeah. My mom has a 2-year-old.
Oh, she's so cute. That was a really cute picture. I was like, who's this baby?
Yeah, we're taking her to we go to Disney in a few weeks. Her first one
Disney where?
in Orlando, Disney
Oh,
World. Yeah. So she's all excited about it. We leave on the 26th of June.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a trip. All right. I guess everybody, DL, come back Saturday. Oh, well, wait.
Saturday.
Saturday in Australia. No. Saturday, our time is Sunday in Australia.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll aim for that day after the show.
After the show. Okay, guys. Thanks, LJ.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.